Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else out there, welcome back to DSP Reacts, and welcome to another video from Internet Historian. This is actually going to be the longest video of his that I've reacted to so far. It is called The Engoodening of No Man's Sky, and it's interesting because apparently I'm in this video. And that's cool because I covered No Man's Sky back in 2016 when it launched, and it was a really underwhelming, botched launch, a game that promised the world and literally delivered on almost none of it whatsoever. But it kind of is a redemption story because it's one of those games that just kept getting better and better over the years to try to live up to expectations. Now, personally, I did go back to it about a year or two after and never really found any satisfaction with it, so I'm not really excited for ever playing the game again. But apparently a lot of people did go back to it over the years and enjoyed it. This video is from around 3 to 4 years ago, so if you do the math, probably around 2019, 2020. The game came out in 2016. I think I last played it like 2017, 2018. So this is even maybe a year or two after the last time that I played it, and maybe it's going to have a much more updated knowledge of what the game is. So without further ado, let us check out The Engoodening of No Man's Sky, also known as Yes Woman's Land. Very nice.
Sponsored by that game everyone loves.
Scientists are racing to unlock the secrets of the cosmos.
Good. They better.
Questions we once thought impossible to answer are within our grasp. Where does the sun go at night?
Is math related to science?
If the universe is so big, then why won't it fight me? As we look further into the universe, we see light from distant stars, eons old.
What the hell is that?
Perhaps hundreds, even thousands of miles away.
Thousands of miles away. Wow.
Hold on. Can I get a zoom in on that?
You bet I can. This is one of the world's most powerful telescopes.
Why is it bullets?
Initiating 6 times zoom.
Can this baby do 7?
I can do you one better. Maneuvering to 8 times zoom.
Pressurizing, holding steady. I can see it. Unblur.
It won't hold.
Get me 8.5 times.
Oh!
Upscale it to 4K.
The helium tanks will go critical.
Opening the blind. Hold her steady. Uncropping and increasing aspect ratio.
Oh my god, look at this.
Now, punch it. Life on another world. And to think, we owe it all to one indie development studio. Hello Games.
My god. The game was so underwhelming at launch. I actually hope this story will show that
at the beginning.
The hype was insane for this game. Maybe that's the problem, is that the hype was just so over the top for this indie game.
It's rewind time. Okay. The year is 2009. Guildford, England. There's a man named Sean Murray, and he's just founded a company called Hello Games.
Right.
Sean and the boys are working hard on a brand
Joe
new
Danger,
IP
the bike game.
called Joe Danger.
Yep. This is what they were known for before No Man's Sky.
2010 AD. The game just came out. It's a success.
Yeah, it was a huge success.
They're a small team, but they are ambitious.
Let's do something bigger, said Sean. Let's reach for the stars.
Uh-oh.
How about Joe Danger 2? Brilliant. It's 2012. Joe Danger 2 has just come out.
Bet that one doesn't perform as well.
90% fewer
something
copies
even
sold.
bigger
Wow.
than Joe Danger 2. Joe Danger 3? No. Even more out of this world. Something no man has done before.
Joe Danger the mobile game?
Yes!
Oh, no.
And that came out in 2014. Seriously, guys, biggest thing you can think of.
I'm just a stock image, dude. Why don't you think of something?
Sean pondered for a moment, then turned and looked wistfully into the mirror. Reflected back.
All right, this is
was the
gonna
visage
sound
of-
really bad, but is it just me or does Sean Murray kind of look like Tobuscus? If you take away the beard, like his face, his eyes, his shape, he kind of looks like Tobuscus. That's not a good thing, by the way. Anyway.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
If you're going to make a space game, first person, it's never been done before.
Here we go.
How about that?
I'm going up in orbit to repair the Hubble telescope.
Well, that's not a knife. Who are you going to have sex with? How much microwaves are coursing through your body now?
The planet, said Murray. Space game. Procedural generation. Planet. Okay, that sounds good. Yes, we all agree. So they set to work, cobbled together a prototype, and by VGX 2013, they are ready to announce another new IP.
No Man's Sky.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Wow, it was 2013 when they announced it? I didn't realize that. Yeah, I remember they did say everything would be procedural. What a bad idea.
Oh, this is special.
Wow.
This is special.
Wow. Dude, the audience.
It's 2014, and it's E3 hype time. No Man's Sky has promised to be a game like no other. A practically boundless experience vibrant with life and color and things to explore. What's over there? You'll have to be the one to discover it. And then, wow, look at that big f***ing dinosaur. Holy shit.
You see, this is such bullshit, and this is the problem with these demos that they show at game shows like E3. Of course, not anymore. E3's gone. But why did they show this? If they knew that the game was not going to be like this, they must have tested it. They knew that the procedural generation doesn't work like this. I mean, yes, were there worlds that had stuff like this? Yes, but they were so rare that, why show this as your example? Instead, be realistic. If they had just showed people realistic expectations from the get-go, right, then it wouldn't have been the debacle it was. But instead, I keep telling people, in business in general, all right, in life this applies to, but in business, when you're a company or anyone that's going to provide a product or an experience to someone, you want to under-promise and then over-deliver, okay? So if the game had advertised the more realistic worlds that actually ended up in the game, but then you bought the game, and all of a sudden you ran into a world like this with dinosaurs and vibrant plant life, you'd be like, whoa, blown away. It's the best game ever. 10 out of 10. Instead, they show this world, which doesn't really exist in the game unless you're lucky as hell, and they show it as if this is the example you're going to get when you play it, when it's not. So, of course, people are upset when they buy the game, and this is not the experience that they've been promised, and, they get an empty world or a barren wasteland, as I'm sure we're about to see. This is the problem. Don't overpromise and underdeliver. Do the opposite, and then people will always be pleasantly surprised.
A moment later, we're in space, having a battle amongst a giant fleet. Claim a planet as your own.
There are no
Explore
giant
the
fleets in the
galaxy
game,
with your
at least
friends.
at launch. They don't exist.
Okay, that's it. This is going to be the best game ever, you guys. It even won awards for its hype. And it will
Yeah, it won
release
awards for
in
hype.
June 2016. The hype train was officially loading up and ready to chug out.
Going
of
to
the station.
Hogwarts on the
At
hype
every
train.
stop of the journey, there would be press junkets talking about the amazing scale of the game. Spread across 18 quintillion planets.
18
It's so
quintillion.
vast that by the time you finish exploring it all, I would have 2 new videos published. Sean himself was doing the interviews. Because who is better to talk about the game than the lead guy himself? He went from interview to interview.
I was actually just
and with
going to say, unlike a lot of other games, there really was no, PR filter with No Man's Sky. Basically, the game was pushed forward as it's this guy, Sean Murray. I mean, yes, he had a dev team, this Hello Games, but he was the game. He was the face of the company. He was the face of the game. He was transparent with what he was doing with the game. And that's a lot of credit has to be given to him. This Sean Murray has balls, giant balls. Thank God that they had someone like that. At the same time, the problem is when this happens, now it's all on you, right? If this game fails to live up to expectations, you're the one now that's going to look like the asshole. And that's exactly what happened, as you're going to see.
The answers he gave raised people's expectations of the game's scope.
Can you land on a comet?
Yeah, at the moment you can land on asteroids. You could encounter other players.
Can you grief other players?
A little bit.
None of
Literally
it. None of
building
it
your
exists.
own massively multiplayer world that's procedurally generated.
Sand planets like in June. Rivers. Walking sentinels. Hacking. So sophisticated that light diffracts through the atoms. They had to redevelop the whole periodic table to make it work.
What?
Even Elon Musk was hyped for it.
2 years go by. It's early 2016, and that hype train is really moving now. Perhaps one of the biggest in video game history. Reddit was shoveling most of the gamer fuel. Skeptics and naysayers are treated as ballast and thrown from the carriage doors. Pre-orders open, and they are doing very well. The date is booked in. Some are even taking the day off work. So much hype there is that... Uh-oh. Jason Schreier of the soon-to-be defunct Kotaku is about to spoil the party.
Soon to be defunct. They're not defunct. They're still around, but that's pretty funny. So I guess he, at one point, was he with Kotaku? Now he's with Forbes, right? And he's still a very prominent games journalist, so...
He announces a delay. From June 2016 to August.
Oh my god!
Liar, the incensed audience cries. Please be quiet, they said. And death threats, too. But he was 100% right. A week later, the delay is officially announced. Ooh, sorry lads, we need more polish, said Sean in his usual accent. To that, Sean received some death threats too, by the way.
Jesus.
Although he didn't take them as seriously or go to the police. Yet.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
But the impatient crowd relaxed a bit and said, fine, we will wait. But we expect a level of polish no man has ever seen.
Yeah.
Speaking of waiting.
I can't wait because my video's in here apparently where I make fun of the game. They actually have me playing it in this video coming up, which is going to be pretty funny. Oh, it's an ad. People like me to watch these ads. Let's see what the ad is.
Shady?
Oh,
My wife
no.
died in a plane crash. Hey, let's get serious for a moment.
Not Raid Shadow.
isn't just a game with
No,
15
not
million
Raid Shadow
downloads in the
Legends.
last
He
6
did
months.
it. No exaggeration. I've been offered this too. I was offered Raid Shadow Legends advertising. Everyone has been offered Raid Shadow Legends advertising. Like literally everybody on the planet, I think. It's actually funny. Did Wings or Boogie ever do a Raid Shadow Legends ad campaign? I'm just curious if they got offered it too, because I got offered it and I told them no, I'm not doing it. The moment I asked them what was the game, and it was hilarious. I got an email about it. All right, and the person in the email is so vague. They're like, so we got a game, we want you to advertise. It's got this many players. It's very popular, blah, blah. And I emailed back. I said, all right, well, I'm just curious, what would the game be? And the guy emails back. He says, all right, so just so you know, I want you to know, yes, it is Raid Shadow Legends. Like, he said it like that in the email. I was like, so you know no one likes your game, right? Like, you understand that. Like, no, I'm not going to do it. Thanks for the offer, though. It was lucrative, too. It was very lucrative. It would have amounted to thousands of dollars for a video to have a raid plug. Just like he's doing right now, he absolutely got paid thousands of dollars for the plug he's doing right now in this video.
It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. Think differently.
Because the thing is, it's economies of scale. He's so much bigger than me. His video is 21,000 views. Or excuse me, 21 million views compared to my videos that get, what, a couple thousand? So they're going to pay me a couple $1,000 to have a No Man's Sky, or excuse me, a Raid Shadow Legends ad. Can you imagine what he got paid, right? Seriously.
Raid differently. Achieve your dreams. I'm sorry, sir. You've contracted raids.
Oh, no.
Congratulations, it's Gorgorub of the Undead Horde.
My life, Vanessa.
You've just collected one of over 400 champions.
Oh my god.
Why, hello there. Have you heard about the online RPG PvP? It's extremely well reviewed on the Play Store. Oh, you remind me of my wife. Raid is more than just a game. It's a reassuring pat on the back from your dad. It's a warm bowl of soup on a cold night. It's one last dance at your wife's funeral.
What the fuck?
If you haven't played in the arena yet, I'm gonna break into your house. You're all getting Raid for Christmas, kids. Yay! And if you download now, kids, using the link in the description below, you can get an extra 50k silver and an epic champion.
Wow.
Wow, you're the best dad ever. Wait, Mum's dead?
Raid Shadow Legends.
Ad over.
All right.
So let's talk about the team in charge.
Amazing. At least he does them in a humorous fashion. I do enjoy the humorous fashion he's doing the ads. They're still intrusive and annoying, and I don't care about Raid Shadow Legends. But, you know, what are you going to do?
It's small.
Gotta make that bank.
In fact, I haven't been able to find...
So here you go. Regular AAA team, Hello Games team. Exactly. Their dev team was tiny for this game. So why he kept promising the world made no sense at all. Overpromise, underdeliver. That was like the definition of what they did. I don't understand what they were thinking or what Sean Murray was thinking.
Smaller team behind a AAA release. All of these expectations are on the shoulders of just 6 people.
Crazy.
Expanding to a team of 15 by the end of production.
Oh god.
July. It's just a couple of weeks until the release date. Whatever the state of the game by now, however much it's finished, that's what's going out. The Hello Games team celebrates with this.
It happened. No Man's Sky just went gold. I'm incredibly proud of the tiny team. 4 years of emotions. Look at his beard. He hasn't shaven in like months. Look at him. Oh my god.
Iconic image.
The quintessential soy face.
They're exhausted.
Soy face.
Look at what video game production does to a man.
God, what's wrong with your face?
Nonetheless, they continue, working on the day 1 patch. And
shout out to Blackout, who just became a channel member. Thank you very much, Blackout, for supporting the channel here today. I really appreciate that. I hope you guys are enjoying the React content today. We're at 113. We are literally 2 members away from hitting a new record here on the channel tonight. So, it'd be awesome if we did. Let's continue.
Uh-oh. Sean, if your game isn't coming out for another 2 weeks, then why is there a box copy on eBay?
Oops.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
It's a leak.
Oopsie.
Someone broke the embargo and is selling early access to the highest bidder. And the bids start rolling in. It reaches $1,300 US. Sold to some guy with the Reddit handle Damien. He gets his hands on it and starts uploading footage.
Whoa! Ladies and gentlemen, we just got a 10-member bomb from Blackout. Congratulations to Cheetah Man, Support, Edward Spaghetti Word, or Spaghetti Word, David Baxter, Critical Breakdown, Varda, New Jack, Escanor Sin of Pride, and Stormforce Gamer, who each just got a gifted membership. And I believe that is now a new record. Let's double check. But it is, I believe. I just want to make sure we didn't lose any during any break or anything here. And if so, we're going to have a little bit of a celebration. For those watching on demand, I apologize. Obviously, you guys probably don't care about the festivities, but this is the biggest we've ever had this channel. And so I'd obviously like to celebrate that. We are now at 123 members. That is the new record here on DSP Reacts. Thank you all so very much. Let's go ahead and celebrate, first of all, with a celebratory bubble blow for everyone at full screen. I know this is really stupid, but it's okay. People like it. All right, here we go. Full screen bubble blow. Amazing. Thank you guys so very much. I appreciate that. Now, I will now set another arbitrary goal. Not to say that we're going to hit this today or there's any expectation that we will. But if we hit 130 members by the end of today's stream, we will celebrate again, and I will do another celebratory bubble blow. All right. Don't want to delay the video too much. Thank you guys for the support today. Let's continue. Here we go.
To YouTube and Daily Motion. What the frick? Said Sean and Sony. Damien finished it a lot quicker than expected, but he gave it a decent review.
There are things I don't like, there are things I like, but at the end of the day, when I say to myself, what is this game supposed to be? This, what I'm looking at right here, this is what the game is supposed to be.
The details here are a bit murky. It was probably a retail employee who leaked the game, but why Hello Games didn't buy it themselves and or petition PayPal, eBay for his info or prosecute, I haven't been able to get any solid answers on, but they didn't. There you go.
He noted a few problems, but said he was optimistic that they would be ironed out with the day 1 patch. Sean? It's another leak.
Uh-oh.
Some retailers broke the official release date. Journalists too. And they started streaming playthroughs of the game. What the Sony tried to DMCA all these videos, but their aim was terrible.
Round of applause, everyone. We've officially become No Man's censored by Sony.
Our news story from earlier this week about No Man's Sky leaks has been hit with a copyright strike on YouTube.
They went bumbling around from platform to platform, just taking down any video they talked about.
I like the giant cannon he's using, the fucking chain gun. Porno!
But it was too late. The footage had people talking more skeptically about.
I'm not canceling my pre-order, but a lot of what you said has dramatically decreased my height. Still going to buy, but I really hope they fix all these problems.
The game.
especially because there were no early review copies.
That's bad.
And it was looking like the weight of all these expectations had become too much.
I wonder if it'll break.
And the whole thing was about to give.
There you go.
Oh no. It's August. Everyone's here. We've all bought the game and we're fucking hyped. Here we go, lads.
I think this is where I'm going to be. I'm going to be in this part.
Oh dear Lord, it isn't finished. Hello, Sean. It is me, the Auditor of Games.
He's wearing a
I used
freaking
to work
monster
at an
energy.
astronomy lab. Don't worry about that. It seems like you've made a lot of promises. Promises that you have not kept. Let's go through the checklist. Have you got any large-scale joinable space battles?
Nope. There's only just very few minor dogfights here and there. There's no big space battles whatsoever in the game at launch. What did you miss, Jade? We are 20 minutes into the No Man's Sky documentary here by Internet Historian. And the game just launched, and that's where we're at. Okay.
Nobody would want that.
Ringed planets?
No. No.
Fine. Well, at least let me play as a trader.
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them...
no.
Those sand planets from June look nice. Think I'm...
What does it say? Roaming freighters? No. Ringed planets? No. Land on an asteroid? No. The radio caller or radio chatter? None. Name your ship? Can't do that. Play as a trader? No. Scout for elements on the galactic map? No. Sand planets? I mean, this is crazy because literally everything they said, there was zero multiplayer whatsoever to be had, even though they promised that. Like, everything they promised was not in the game. It's not even the same game, honestly.
Please, Sean, there must be rivers.
No, it's not.
No rivers.
Animals interact with each other in the environment?
No. No.
Packs of walking sentinels, Sean.
No.
Yeah, those don't even exist. They showed that in the PR footage. They don't exist in the game. There's no robots at all.
I'm literally crying right now. Should I even ask whether I can play as a space pirate?
It's gonna fly up and say no. Watch. Here he comes. Here he comes. And...
No.
Factions with different
love it.
attributes.
You picked the wrong house, fool! Oh!
Fly between star systems manually.
But nobody's actually done it yet.
If I can maneuver like in the trailer, I'll still be happy.
No.
Well, day-night cycles determined by the orbit of the sun.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Land on an asteroid, radio chat, and name your ship, hacking, portals, all that stuff about the elements, Sean.
No.
This is not good, Sean. This is very not good.
And ironically, the only bugs this game doesn't have are the butterflies in the demo.
Buried buildings, aggressive emojis, tractor beam malfunctions, animal husbandry, oil slick world, raining grass, retarded animals doing retarded things. Ship's interiors disappear, first-person mode as a gun. That's not how flying works. That's my only means of transportation, leaving the planet. Take off.
What the hell?
Really take off. Holes in the map. Holes in my graphics card. Whole lot of nothing from down here. Textures bugging out, animals bugging out. Animals breakdance.
That's where the
Look at these
breakdance is
busy
pretty cool.
hands. Hello there. And a couple of unrequested ejector seats.
Whee!
Okay, that's a lot of stuff. I get the picture. No wait, poor graphics rendering. Some can't even start the game. Frame rate issues, constant crashes. Major publications are having trouble playing the game on their machines. Even the best 1080 Ti's are stuttering. Alt-tabbing? That's a guaranteed crash. Desktop notifications? That's a crash. Playing the game? That's a crash. Changing options in the game without restarting? You'll get this.
Nice.
And if you got the pre-order
Disco
version with the
mode.
bonus spaceship, you might have a problem. Your special ship already comes with a hyperdrive inside it. Great, right? No, because you have to craft it in order to finish the tutorial missions. And if you haven't finished the tutorial missions, you can't leave the star system. So whoops, until they patch it, you're stranded.
So the pre-order bonus screws you for being able to play the game because they didn't think of big picture when they put it in the game. Yikes.
I give my kids No Man's Sky.
Here we go. She's gonna fall again.
The fool.
Ooh, ooh. Oh, she launched that time. That was good. She launched. Woohoo! Very nice.
Ah, my ship's in bits. Okay, thank you.
Just a quick note about how high expectations were for this game and just how many people bought it.
The second biggest PS4 launch ever? Oh my god. See, I knew the hype was insane and over the top and too much. I didn't know it was the second biggest PS4 game ever in 2016. That's insanity. That's just nuts for a game of this scale.
Myself included. Over 750,000 purchases on Steam at launch. It's the single best-selling game on the PlayStation Store that month. And the large proportion of people who bought it in the hopes of playing with their friends,
no
you're
multiplayer at
in
all.
for a surprise. This one is a literal game changer.
Is it even possible to meet up with your friends in No Man's Sky? The answer is absolutely yes, it's possible.
On multiple occasions, Sean said it was definitely in the game.
Will you be able to play with your friends?
Yeah.
Why did he lie?
Can you run into other people, other players on the game?
Yes.
But then just before the release, Sean posted this cryptic tweet.
To be super clear, No Man's Sky
What the
is
fuck does
not
that mean?
a
No.
multiplayer game. Please don't go in looking
You
for that
outright
experience.
said, you literally outright fucking said you could play with your friends. That's multiplayer, you fucking asshole.
Oh, what? So there's no multiplayer function. But then the next line contradicts that.
Because the chances of two players ever crossing paths in a universe this big is pretty much zero.
What? What? What?
Oh, so it is multiplayer. You just have to overcome this finding each other hurdle.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah! Right? No, it's more confusing than that. Because the box doesn't mention online play, just network features. And the collector's edition had its online play icon stickered over.
Wow.
So customers are going, which one is it, Sean? Just tell us if it has multiplayer or it doesn't have multiplayer. Sean wouldn't give any answers. But after hundreds of thousands of purchases, people soon took it upon themselves to find out. Despite the claims that it would be so improbable.
Chances that are incredibly rare, just because of the size of what we're building.
On the very first day, two people noticed they were only 4 star systems from one another, and they met up on the same planet in a live stream.
Nice.
Oh dear.
A black pillow.
Our streams are exactly lined up. If you go look at my stream, we're looking at the exact same area right now if you don't move.
Yep. But they're not
That's
there.
the same spot. And they can't see each other.
I'm alone!
That's it.
I'm alone!
It's not multiplayer because it's so big. It's not multiplayer
Because they didn't code it in.
because it's just not fucking multiplayer.
Right. They didn't code it in. They said there was going to be... Basically, the way they pitched it was, because it's procedurally generated, the game is so big that you're always going to be on worlds no one else has ever been to. So even though you're all in the same world, right? Like there's the share of different galaxy systems or whatever, you'll never be able to play with each other because you'll never run into each other. The world's just too big because it's procedurally generated. No, come to find out, there is no multiplayer world at all. At all. It's just your own universe. That's it. There's no crossover at all. There never had network capability like that.
And this led
The
to
whole thing
quite
was a lie.
What did Sean have to say about all this?
So amazing, 2 people found each other on the first day.
That has blown my mind.
So why can't we see other players in game?
Wow, so many of you play.
Yeah, Sean, but what?
Truly amazing. My mind is blown.
Oh, I think
what's
this is
the
going to be the portion I'll be in, I think. If I'm going to be in any portion, it'll be this gameplay. Let's see.
Actually like them.
Is it any good? That is a difficult thing to say.
Well, it certainly is stylish and pretty, and there are a lot of places to explore. But that doesn't mean there's much to find.
And there's not much to do.
In fact, the game boils down to a very simple loop.
It's a very boring loop.
Hold down the trigger to pick up resources, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade, leave the planet, go to another planet.
Yep.
Hold down the trigger, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade, leave the planet, go to another planet. Hold down the trigger, deal with a full inventory, leave the planet, go to another planet, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade.
Why is fucking Kevin Sorbo?
That's it. $60, ladies and gentlemen.
Refuel your multi-tool, refuel your life support.
Food was good, Jay. Thanks for asking. Disappointment! The friggin' meme.
Refuel a separate part of your multi-tool that shoots bullets instead of the mining beam, refuel your launch thrusters. It's busy work that makes it look like you have something to do. It's not real.
How dare you?
Nah.
What followed was one of the most dramatic crashes in player numbers in gaming history. Sales in the UK fell by 81% in the second week. Concurrent players on Steam dropped from 212,000 in August to just over 2,000 by September,
why are you even
and
still
fewer
playing?
than
Nothing to do.
1,000 by October.
And what followed that was perhaps the biggest pylon in gaming history.
Yeah.
Reviewers on YouTube panned the game.
Well, I was one of them too, but I was honest. I was just showing my personal experience. I wasn't doing skits and shit like this.
Fuck's sake! You done fucked it up!
I had no hype, and I can tell you that, even without that disappointment, this game is hot garbage.
Has anyone coined Sean Mourinho yet?
Numerous times within the first 2 hours of the game, I kept saying, this is it, fuck this shit.
Reviewers in the media were almost as harsh.
Devastating realization that most of the crafting, combat, and other activities you do on and between those planets ranges between bemusing and outright bad.
The criticism was deafening. And a lot of it really funny and creative. Cat made a video that captured the sentiment of that day, and if you haven't seen it
wait
yet,
a minute. Am I not in this? Am I in the Cat video? I think someone said I was in a No Man's Sky video. I think I'm not in this one. I think I'm in the Cat No Man's Sky video. Never mind. I guess I'm not in this one. Oh well. Sorry to build up your expectations. It's the other one. Never mind.
So people are furious. The game is boring, and soon people discover that complaining about the game is actually more fun than playing it.
Wait, I'm now 3.
Oh shit! Never mind. Hold on. Let's rewind a second here.
Seen it yet? You're missing out.
So people are furious. The game is boring, and soon people discover that complaining about the game is actually more fun than playing it.
Wait, I'm now 3.5 hours into the tutorial, pretty much.
So they started complaining about it like they were grinding for an achievement.
This sucks. Fucking Minecraft in space.
Many people made compilations of all the unfulfilled promises. One guy on the subreddit compiled a big list.
Guitar player the Super Chase says, I played No Man's Sky. Sometimes I come across star systems that other people already discover. Yeah, that's what they're saying, is that was always possible. The problem is it was not multiplayer like was promised. It was a lie. There always was the ability to find existing star systems like other people had described and found the names of, but you're not in a shared universe at all. Oh, I know, my old camera was terrible. Everything about my old setup was terrible. This was 2016. So, okay.
Of all the missing features. Front page. Got a defense for No Man's Sky? Enjoy your downvote. In fact, the entire No Man's Sky subreddit was in such disarray it had to be locked.
So by the end of the month, Metacritic was like scrolling through a bowl of Cheerios. By October, it was one of the worst rated games on Steam, with an aggregate of mostly negative from more than 70,000 reviews. The outrage at the game was headline news for weeks on dozens of games news publications, and the price on eBay and Amazon and secondhand at GameStop was crashing through the floor. Please, no more. But the
beatings continue. What? How many? Okay, we're about half an hour in. Okay, good. We're going to split it in about 15-20 minutes and then get to the second half. I knew this was a longer video. Okay. The beatings continue. You know what I am happy about? They're calling it the Engoodening of No Man's Sky, meaning there's going to be a redemption arc here. It's not just a bad story with a bad ending. There's going to be some good stuff coming, so, okay.
Things had only just begun. The demo planet was data mined and found to be, of course, totally scripted and not randomly generated at all.
No, I've just got to pick one of these at random. If anything horrible goes wrong, just keep in mind that I've not been here before.
It wasn't some level that we built or something like that, even though I think it looks quite nice in places.
People watching this would wonder why you're showing this area again. Like, what's so special about demoing the game on this planet?
Oh, no, it's just a place that looks nice.
No. Bad Murray.
Live.
I could have ended the demo with some, pre-scripted crazy thing that would happen. You know what I mean? The normal thing of like, and then a monster emerges from behind the mountain.
You're like right there?
People see what's going on with the game and feel lied to. This is false advertising, they say, and angry customers start scoping out a lawsuit. On September 28th, the ASA busts through the door and goes, "Yep, too many complaints. We're going to investigate." But then soon after, the ASA cleared them of any legal wrongdoing. Technically, the only thing they're interested in is what's on the back of the box, what's on the store page, and what's on the Steam page. So it's...
Which is stupid because There's an insane PR campaign of advertising this game for 2 years that was all false advertising, but all they care about is what's in the print advertising, essentially. What's on the box, what's on the website to read. What the fuck? What are you, an idiot? You're telling me there's no way that anyone could ever be held accountable for something they say, only what they type or print? Like, what are you fucking... They're morons. They're a completely worthless regulatory agency. They failed. They did not do their job here. They're moronic.
Technically, not false advertising. But of course, technically not illegal.
Here. As such, it believes the overall impression of the ad was consistent with gameplay and the footage provided, both in terms of that captured by Hello Games and by third parties. It did not exaggerate the expected player experience of the game. Did you watch 100 interviews that he did? Right? Why? Did you watch anything he said about the game? No, we only looked at the print stuff. Well, then you fail. Just close your fucking business or your regulatory body. Just close. You serve no purpose. You're a bunch of idiots. You fucking didn't do your job at all.
Doesn't mean much to an angry audience. October 28th, Hello Games Twitter is hacked.
Wow.
The hacker posts, "No Man's Sky was a mistake," and is shitting on the game in the replies. Turns out Sean didn't use two-factor authentication on his LinkedIn, and that's how they got in. They also sent discrediting emails to journalists, which they knew would rile people up if published. Some people even show up to their offices to take photos and knock on the door, even at night and on the weekend. They posted empty pictures of the office, so, naturally out of context, this started rumors that Hello Games simply took the money and ran. This in addition to numerous bomb and death threats during that period. Those ones Sean did have to take seriously.
Regular intervention from police and Scotland Yard and things like that.
And while Sony didn't quite throw them under the bus, it was more like a gentle push under a minivan. When Sony president Shohei Yoshida admitted that Hello Games did not have a great PR strategy for No Man's Sky. The press took the ball with that one and ran. But despite all of this, all of the negative press, they were actually nominated for a couple of awards. But by this point, Murray and the other members of Hello Games were so downtrodden and so sure they weren't going to win
Bill Murray jumping off the
that
tower.
they opted to go elsewhere for dinner.
And the Innovation Award goes to No Man's Sky. Oh, bro. This lovely trophy going once.
Whoops.
Apparently we won an award. Oops. We were eating dinner talking about how we definitely wouldn't win an award.
I'm going to set this on the behalf of Hello Games, and congratulations to them. And I'm going to walk off stage like I planned that whole thing.
By this point, you've got to feel just a little bit sorry for them.
Wow.
And then what followed that was the final straw for many. No particular incident, but a lack of incidents. Silence. Over 3 months of not a damn word from No Man's Sky. Where are they?
So it said, you read the tweet, it said, "So we're focused on customer support. We'll add more features and improve the game later. But everyone bought your game now. What do you mean later? There is no later. There's now or never."
Where is my refund? Where is Murray? Shouted into the void. The game was over. And it was dead.
Wow. Okay. Back to Will Smith.
The year is 2000 AD. Sean has just graduated from university and is headed into the
This is seriously going to tell the whole story of him too? Wow, I didn't even know that. It's cool.
big wide world. He rises up the ranks at a number of studios, eventually working as a technical lead for Black.
Oh, he did?
And technical director for Burnout 3.
So he did a lot of technical work.
When Burnout's developer is bought by EA, he is in his late 20s. And he and 3 of his buddies decide to leave and start their own studio, Hello Games. This was a risky venture.
So we'd done this incredibly foolish thing of like quitting our jobs, and then we had to sit down and try and decide what the game was going to be.
Together they create their first title, Joe Danger. They work on this game day and night. In fact, even once they were arrested in their own office because the police thought they were there to rob the place. Because who would be working at 11 p.m. on a Sunday night? But they had to work that hard. Like any startup, it was a huge financial and professional risk. They had no income. They were working in a tiny room above an old tile shop, living off savings. And to keep the project running, Sean even sold his house.
I mean, there's a lot here to be said that's respectable, that's risky, that's ballsy, that obviously that first game, the Joe Danger game, you know, it's great that that one panned out and was successful for them, really, with the amount of love and effort and things that they put into it to make it happen. I mean, think about leaving a major studio where you basically have job security and going off to do your own thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's a crazy amount of risk. So I get that part for sure. Still doesn't, you know, even knowing the perspective, it doesn't invalidate, or it doesn't validate what he did with No Man's Sky. But I get it. Like, these are hard workers. This isn't, I think the reason that they're doing that, he's doing this, Internet Historian, is he wants to give you the background. This guy is not someone who was looking to do a bait and switch, cash grab, run and leave and screw everyone over. Like, that wasn't the intention. It definitely feels like he had every intention of making a good game. He wanted to do that, right? It's just somehow he got in way over his head. That's what it seems like to me. Like, listening to this backstory of the guy, it sounds to me like he just took on too much. He got way over his head, and then he got so caught up in all the promises that he got addicted to it, perhaps. I mean, look at how much media he got, probably unexpectedly, for No Man's Sky. How many interviews he was granted. He was becoming a celebrity in the gaming world as a game dev. So for him, it was probably like, you know, over the top levels of passion and hype and everything coming, and, you know, this is what he wants the game to be. But why? That's, you have to be realistic, you know? And that's, I think, he lost himself in this fantasy of what he could do or what his studio could do. Maybe he had too much faith in the employees. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be a million things, but I don't necessarily feel like he's a malicious individual who is looking to rip people off. I feel like he's someone who got caught up so much in everything that was going on around him, right? That then, because of that, he just lied a ton about what the game was going to be, hoping that maybe eventually those things would be in the game. Like, the telltale sign of that, hold on, because we're actually going to split the part in a second here. The telltale sign of that is that he says there's going to be multiplayer. And then people actually press him on it. And they say, well, so you're going to be playing with your buddies. Well, yeah, technically, yes, you will be. Oh, okay. But what about running into them? Well, no, you see, yes, technically you can, but there's no way you'll ever run into your buddy because it's procedurally generated. You'll never find them in this ginormous universe, right? So that right there, that's a bad sign. When he says that, you immediately know something should click and be like, okay. So he says it's multiplayer, yet he's saying essentially it's not going to have the features of a multiplayer game. There's something up. And what you realize is he wants it to be multiplayer, but he knows he's not going to be able to do it. So now he has to try to find a way to rationalize why it won't be like another multiplayer game. But it's just, yeah, he really vastly underestimated the internet. He did. And maybe this game was one of the first instances in 2016. We're talking 7 years ago. This is one of the first instances where the internet went crazy over something and basically went to the extreme. Like, let me give you some perspective here, all right? When I was younger, when I was a kid, sometimes I would have irrational thoughts that maybe someone was out to get me, that someone was stalking me, and that someone was actually trying to hurt me. But I was just a kid. It was an irrational thought, and I would rationalize that by saying, no, you know, it's not happening. It's just crazy. It's a bad paranoia thought in the back of my head. And then when you think, you know, who would come after me? I'm a no one. No one knows who I am. I just live a normal life. There's no secret people coming after me trying to hurt me, right? Right? It's a crazy paranoid thought, and you dismiss it when you rationalize it, okay? But then time passes, and what happens? I become a prominent person on the internet as a content creator. Everyone knows who I am. Everyone loves to make fun of me and tear me down. And now, literally today, there are people who on a daily basis are trying to find a way to mess with all my stuff and ruin my life. There's people who have stalked me and taken pictures of me without my permission in public to try to make me look bad. There's people who are trying to hack accounts and do fucked up stuff. They're hitting me with false copyright strikes. They're hitting me with crazy things that I'm not doing and making up conspiracies about it. You see? Today, all those things I was paranoid about when I was a kid are happening. But that's because I'm a prominent public figure on the internet, and I never would have fathomed when I was younger they could be real. For Sean Murray, when he's making this game, right? He's thinking, listen, it doesn't matter what I say, whatever the game is, the game will be, right? It's not a big deal. But what ends up happening is in the process of him making the game and now having the Sony backing, he becomes a gaming celebrity. He becomes a guy who, wow, I can't wait to play No Man's Sky. It's going to be this blow away game. It's going to blow us all away, change the face of gaming and all of that, right? So he goes from overnight from, well, it doesn't matter what I say, not a big deal, to, oh shit, every literal thing I'm going to say and do about this game will be microanalyzed. And as unlikely as it may have actually been for two people to try to run into each other in this game if it weren't popular. Like, imagine if this game truly was a true indie game with no hype or backing, Sony not talking about it, he didn't get any of those interviews. Who would have cared if when the game came out, if it sold 10,000 copies, if anyone ever ran into anyone or tried to find each other? No one would have. No one would have given two shits. So then he could say whatever he wants about his game on the internet, no one cares. But what ended up happening was the opposite. He became so prominent and popular and well-known on the internet that now everyone is holding him to task for what he said about the game. So he got caught up in this whole movement of overpromise because I'm so happy about this game, the hard work our studio did and all of that, never thinking in his head that any of this he'll never be held accountable because who cares, right? But then what ends up happening was he is held accountable. People do care. It's one of the best-selling games on PS4 because people got so hyped for it. So it came out to bite him in the ass. But in his roots, he's a guy who risked it all to get his passion out there. I do feel that No Man's Sky is a passion project for this man. But the problem is, it also became a lot of other people's passions along the way who wanted to buy it and make it their game that they could now, you know what I mean? Like, this is their game, man. This is the big game of the year for me. And that's kind of the problem. Man. But anyway, this is a perfect opportunity for us to split the part. There will be a part 2 where we'll watch the second half of the video and actually see how he Engoodened the game over the years, because I actually have no clue how he did that. I went back and played it like a year later, and it claimed all these updates, and it felt the same to me. So let's actually find out. But in the meantime, what I'd like to say is thank you all for watching this far. I hope you're enjoying the video. If you are, please consider giving it a like, leaving some comments. Let me know what you think about my reacting to this. And I'm very happy to jump into the second half. If you want to support the efforts on the channel, please consider becoming a member and or other means of support. Thank you all, and I'll see you in part 2, the conclusion.